Whenever I talk with a contractor, the number one priority they're always looking for is to getting more jobs and actually growing the business so that they can pay their employees and then make some revenue for themselves. And so whenever I get into these types of conversations towards lead generation, the number one priority, even if you're running marketing, even if you're running paid ads, even if you're trying to pay Google, Facebook, Instagram, maybe a billboard, wherever the thing may be, the number one priority for a contractor is to get inbound leads, organic free leads that reach out to them so they can actually give them an estimate and possibly closing them as a client. And so today I'm getting yet another guide on how I get organic free leads for roofing contractors and remodeling contractors, and how you can do it too for your own remodeling, general contracting, or roofing business. Now I have 4 different examples here because usually whenever you get into Google My Business, which is probably the main spot where you get most of your increase, right? Usually people either discovers you from word of mouth or either discovers you coming from Google, right? And so I put here the 4 types of stereotypes, right? The first one is the State 48 Roofing, which has a lot of reviews. Then we have CQR Interior Pros, which is a kitchen, bathroom, basement, and essentially a full home remodeling business, which has 128 reviews just on Google. Then we have A&A Pronto Services, which is a general contracting service, which means that they do it all, which has 58. And then we have Right Now Contracting, which is a different stereotype of remodeling contracting with just 2 reviews, which again, they do it all. And so I've noticed kind of a pattern, and it's the way that, it's the reason why I'm bringing you this video today. And so what does all roofing and remodeling successful business have in common, right? Because in this example right here, you can clearly see which ones are more successful than the others. Because let's be honest, okay? As a contractor, managing your own Google My Business, managing your own website, managing your own socials usually sucks. And I've talked with a lot of contractors and they don't usually are very techy in all that aspects, right? But there are some others that really enjoy doing that. There are some others that likes recording themselves, right? And that's the point, because the stereotype of a contractor is basically being the whole day on their truck, driving the whole state essentially, or the whole area where they deliver their services, and then just providing a lot of estimates, managing a team, and essentially just becoming something of a mission impossible whenever you're trying to essentially get more leads in different ways, right? And so we often, whenever we try to expand our lead acquisition systems, our essentially gathering more leads from different stream channels, we usually try it to solve it in the hard way. And what I mean by that is that we tend to hire other lead service providers so that they can provide us with leads, right? And so we try to hire Angi's, Homeowners, or even SEO companies to make us rank at the top of Google. We even try to pay an agency to design ourselves a website, right? And what tends to happen is that we end up worse than we started to begin with, right? Because we sacrifice time, money, and we haven't even gained any knowledge to begin with, right? I've seen countless stories with Angi leads that you pay a lot of money for those leads and they don't even answer the phone, right? And I've seen other types of experiences with other type of contractors that they keep paying a monthly retainer fee to that SEO agency, to that marketing agency, and then the contractors not even knowing what they're doing, right? And that is something that makes me mad, because if you're not getting anything out of it, if you're not gaining knowledge out of it, then what is the point, right? And so the reason why I'm making this video is because today this is going to change, right? And if we follow this thing right here, there are honestly 4 things that if you implement them today, you will start getting inbound leads to reach you without having to pay a dime. And most importantly, starting to build something that you can rely on, right? And what I mean by something that you can rely on is kind of a solid base, solid fundament that can allow you to build on top of that, right? Because what is the point on building on something that is tangible, on building on something that you cannot control? It doesn't even make sense, right? So why should you start optimizing, for example, your Google My Business? Why should you start uploading content around the internet? Why should you start to essentially become something more visible, something more public, right? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's because we all want more customers, right? And if we can make more people know about our stuff, if we can make more people know about your roofing company, about your remodeling company, it will be unreasonable for you to not sell more. And not even mentioning that if those new coming leads are coming for free, your profit margins literally skyrocket, right? Because you are not paying any more for leads. They are literally coming for free, which is the whole grand of it. So now you're probably thinking, okay, so let's actually dive into these 4 different things, right? So I prepared, as you can see here, the 4 main steps that if you apply them all, you're going to not only make more money, but essentially have way more customers coming into your business, that you can actually give more estimates, so you can actually close more leads, that can, for example, your sales reps can actually have that traction of closing and talking to more people, right? So yeah, let's start with the first one, which is why should you focus on your online presence to begin with, right? Why should you focus on building a Google My Business account? Why should you focus on uploading posts on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube? Or why should you even think about opening any of these social medias, right? Because honestly, everything compounds over time. And all of these channels can drive traffic and trust, this is the most important thing, to your business for free, right? But which one or when should you focus on them? When, for example, should you focus on your Google My Business? Or when, for example, should you focus on your Facebook or your Instagram or even building a YouTube channel, right? The fact is that you want to build those, you don't have to build them all. Obviously, if you make them all and if you put in the work, you're gonna get better results in the long run. But you want to build them to provide more trust, right? And just as an example here, since we're comparing what's proven to work, since we're comparing the ones that have a lot of reputation in the industry, as you can see right here, they have them all. They even have Twitter, right? And if you get into their website, right? Because once you find a contractor, then they want to say, okay, let me actually read the reviews, but then let me actually get into his website to see a little bit about who this guy is, right? And so, for example, the first thing that you can see from this contractor is that, okay, you can see kitchen and bath specialist, people you can trust. Valley is best known. They're actually in the valley, which is right at the bottom of Texas. And so, yeah, they're literally on the valley. But the thing that I want you to notice is that, okay, once this new coming lead is actually, heading to visit your website, from the first glance, you can clearly see trust. You can clearly see that this contractor knows what he's doing, not only because he's showing himself, but because, okay, we are the best trusted. We are, essentially only specializing in kitchen and bathroom. And then, boom, you can contact us here. You make it easy and clear for that lead to come. But usually they want to see more information, right? So here is where you want to really point out the strong points that you have, right? And so if you even add videos about yourself, talking about the remodel, in this case, the kitchen remodeling they did, talking about why you did this or why you did that, or whatever the thing may be, that establishes trust. And if you can add even the reviews in here, that will actually increase the likelihood of that lead calling you, essentially, right? And all that you want as a contractor is leads to call you. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because you should always focus on your Google My Business profile, which is this profile right here, right? Whenever people searches for your company, it will appear your profile. So the more information you can put in here, the more reviews you can have, the introduction that you can have, the more photos that you can have in this case right here. For example, A&A Pronto Services has some uploaded posts and also has some photos in here so that people whenever finds them, and CQR interiors also, right? And for example, State 48 Roofing also have some posts, which as you can see here, 2 days ago, right? And your one was a week ago, right? So you really want to make that active profile, right? Because the reason why you want to have this Google My Business and then back it up with another source of social media of traffic, right, is because Google will always be the main spot, right? Will always be the place where people will find you. But then it's up to you to use your preferred social media to establish trust towards being a public, not shoddy organization. And what I mean by that is that whenever you have this main piece of the puzzle, which is Google, so that people can find your business, then you want to back it up, for example, with Facebook, right? And then you want to create a social media around your business towards uploading before and afters, towards uploading things about your life, towards uploading reviews, towards uploading things about the business that can actually give you more reach. And since uploading on Facebook is free, you're essentially creating a new source of new coming leads for free, which will be organic, right? And if you also provide more information to Google, such as, for example, you provide them with social media accounts, Google sees that as a positive thing and will allow you to be more, I would say, seen as a trusted business, right? Because in this industry, it's all about trust, right? Because the number one priority, and I cannot extend to myself this anymore, I cannot make it more important. The number one priority is to not be seen as another one. You want to be seen as the one, right? And the only way to do that is by being there, is by showing yourself, is by showing about the business, is by showing about the reviews, right? It's not about being shoddy. It's not about throwing your prices. It's not about adding discounts. It's not about all those marketing crazy things. It's about being there every single day. And in the long run, that will compound. Of course, if you run the marketing, you will get more leads. Of course, if you make some discounts, you will make more leads. But the thing that will maintain you in business are not the discounts or are not the things that, essentially makes cheaper your work, right? The things that will maintain you in business is trust, good work, and word of mouth, right? Now, how can you do that, right? Well, by just starting, right? All the time that you're just thinking about it, someone else is signing a job that you could have signed. And that is totally true. All the time that you're thinking if you should upload this before and after or not, all the time that you're thinking if you should record yourself or not, every time that you're just procrastinating in a way, another contractor has just signed a contract with a homeowner that you could have signed, right? And that is completely true. And the proven example of this is myself recording this video for yourself, right? I just started and I'm just becoming every single day better and proving that I have my own expertise, right? And so it's about being seen as the authority. It's about being seen as a trusted individual. And the only way to do that is by just starting out. But okay, Paul, everything sounds super cool. Everything sounds fun, but how can I start, right? How can you start? Well, first thing first, I know that all of you might have a lot of experience, and I know that you probably may have a lot of years into business, right? But just for that small minority, you don't need reviews. You don't need to be trusted to begin with, right? You just need to keep doing what you do best. Of course, reviews are great to have as leverage, but remember, people usually like getting different types of estimates. People usually essentially likes talking to different types of contractors to see how they express, how they talk, how, essentially to provide trust, right? Before actually giving the okay and going with that desired contractor. And the only way to get the opportunity and to give the actual estimate to the homeowner is by optimizing for the following, is by optimizing to be seen to more people so that more people can know about your stuff, right? And so you can just start by having your Google My Business in place, right? So you just need to let people know that you're close to them, right? So whenever people is looking for kitchen remodeling contractor near me, or for example, if you're in Arizona, roofing contractor in Tucson, right? Arizona. And so you want to, first thing first, be spots on your area. If people cannot find you, how can you expect to get free organic leads? And again, you're creating this for people to reach out to you, for people to discover, for people to know about you, to establish some trust. But this is just the first step. Now you have to establish trust with this new coming lead And there are only two ways that you can actually do that, and I'm going to show them both, which is the thing that all the top contractors and all the top roofers are currently doing so that they can actually get more leads, right? Building your Google business is, again, I'm going to repeat myself, but this is the key to actually unlocking more things. And so the first thing, or the first one, is leveraging reviews. As you can see here, State 48 Roofing has over 300 reviews, right? And keeping your business profile up to date with constant uploads regarding, for example, offers, before and afters, and photos about the service, right? But all of this will tell Google that you're not only active, which most businesses aren't. I'm sure that if you own a local business, you probably are not doing things like this, but to tell Google that you're a real business that actually helps people, right? Which Google will understand, and that's the most important thing, that you are a great business, and since your profile is in Google and they want quality so that users can come back to Google for more problems they might find, because people usually when they have a problem, they want to search it on Google, they will give you more visibility, right? So if you upload quality on Google, Google will essentially boost you, and as a fact, you will get more people coming into your business because you are seen as something that has a lot of quality. And since Google wants to make people come back to his own platform, you want to have as much quality, as much activity as possible. Now, the other way that you can actually achieve more visibility and more leads is by having a website. But not any type of website. You want to have a trusted website. And as I've already told you, you want to not only have a nice looking website to establish trust, but you want to be clear, right? You want to say, okay, if you want to reach out to me, here's my phone number, right? And if you click this button, you're gonna call me. Or here's my form where you can essentially reach out to me, right? So you want to give different types of scheduling options or contact options, because usually people doesn't really like talking on the phone. You're just gonna leave the option there, but maybe this new coming lead wants to speak, through text message, right? And so if you just give them like a form where they can basically type, that's also better, right? And so I'm just providing here different types of examples. Here you can call them, and then you can click here on Contact Us, and then it's going to display a form. And here in the same way with the State 48 Roofing, right? You want to make it clear where you want the lead to go, and then once they click in here, they're going to get also into a form, right? This is what the top guys are doing, and this is what I would really recommend. Having clear call to actions for the lead to reach out to you, and to have it in different ways. If you don't really mind, and if you are really a contractor who likes doing different types of things, you can have things like a calendar so that people can actually book the day and time that fits them the most. You can have just a form, which is the most commoditized thing. And you can have even a button, such as this one right here, so that people can just click in there and directly call you, right? So you want to really have different types of allowing the lead to reach out to you, because that is the end goal, right? And so the more things you can provide the leads on how to contact you, the more ways you will actually get more leads, right? And so the cool thing about these two ways that you can get more leads is that you can use them both not only at the same time, but you can boost them in different ways. And what I mean by that is that you can not only, for example, build the website towards being SEO optimized, right? So for example, adding keywords that people search for it, right? And adding vital information. So when new coming people are looking, for example, roof repair in Indianapolis, they actually find your website and they actually have or find some information in regards with what they can expect with the service. And since they're already on your website, then you can actually try to sell on them, right? And so you can actually put your reviews in the website and show, how people are actually satisfied with your services. Or you can even just, record yourself, as I've already told you, and establish some trust. And again, leverage some reviews, right? And so you can, the cool thing about this is that you can do it the way that you enjoy doing it, right? So if you're more of a visual contractor, you can just record yourself, right? If you're more of a familiar contractor, you can shoot a photo with your family and say who you are. If you're more of a, I would say, you want to rank on Google, you can just have a website with a lot of keywords so that you can actually rank at the top of your local area so that people can actually find you, right? And so that is the cool thing about having these different types of leads generation systems, right? So let's get into the next one, right? Now we know a little bit what we have to do, right? But what should I upload to optimize my lead quality and quantity, right? So now I really know, okay, I have to have my main key of the puzzle, which is the Google My Business, right? And then I should have maybe one social media, two social medias profiles, right? Where people can reach me out, right? And I know that from there, I can drive people to my website so that I can establish more trust, right? But what should I upload to optimize? Because everything sounds super cool and everything just sounds fantastic. But what is the thing that if I just do that will give me the highest ROI, right? What is the thing that will make me the most? Well, here I have some examples, right? And the number one thing, or the number one most common thing that a lot of these business owners have, right? Is that, for example, here we have Jason, right? That he records himself, right? As you can see here, this is the State 48 roofing profile. And you can see here that he's recording himself. He is with his glasses, he is with his cap essentially, so you cannot really see him, right? But he just has this stereotype profile that whenever you see this type of person, you already know that he's Jason, right? And so you can upload videos about yourself talking about the job. Videos about yourself talking that, for example, in this case, it was that if you live in Arizona and you don't know if your roof is prepared for the next coming storm, you can do this, this, and that, right? And you can reach out to myself, essentially, right? So you can provide, I would say, helpful content to your Facebook or Instagram profile, right? Or for example, we have here the case of A&A Pronto Services. You can just upload, for example, commercial ads or commercial posts in a way to say, okay, I want to sell a little bit more of a painting, so I want to let a lot of people know around Indianapolis that, hey, I'm here to paint their homes, right? And for example, another thing that I've seen a lot of contractors succeed with, and is probably one of the best things that you can do, if you can do it, I would always suggest to do it, is to have video testimonials, right? This is just an image, right? But these are essentially two homeowners that hired a contractor and the contractor just messed around with their home, honestly. And then CQR, kitchen and bathroom specialist, came in and said, okay, I'm going to essentially provide the kitchen that you really wanted, right? And so it's just them explaining their experience with Orlando, which is the business owner, and how, you know, they experience the service, right? And this will always give you the most leverage. Now, we have different types of options. So instead of running video testimonials, you can just use images around reviews that people left you on Google, for example, to really show some proof, right? Or you can even upload some before and afters. And you can even upload things like, get your roof repaired in one single day. Or if you need the job done, make sure to call us at A&A Pronto Services, right? We do these types of services, for example, right? Or for example, just uploading photos about the day-to-day basis of the subcontractors doing the job, right? So your only goal of doing this is to amplify your reach so that more people can share and get to know and reach out to you for more jobs, right? Because maybe if you upload this roof right here, maybe the homeowner that sees this photo about your business doesn't need a roof, but maybe they have a friend that needs a roof, right? And since you're uploading this on Facebook, Instagram, or even YouTube, right, they can share that video, right? And so you can have way more leverage by just uploading daily or day-to-day basis things, right? And so once you already know a little bit what to have, once you know all these systems that you can put in place, what can you add in order to get better results, right? Because we want to optimize for leads, right? We want to optimize to get as much high quality jobs as possible. And so now we know what is the main piece of the puzzle and how we can amplify it. Now we know what we can upload. Now we know essentially the whole system itself, right? But once you know the system, what is the things that you can do to get even better results with what you're doing, right? Because if we want to optimize to get leads, which is the main goal, really need to have our desired prospect in mind. We really have to think in here, right? And I already know what we all contractors want, right? We want high income homeowners that can afford our services, right? We as a contractors, it is sad to say it, right? But we all want those high income homeowners who can afford our services from day one, who can pay it for all of it, who are just rich people, right? And so if we really, all the goal that we have, the only thing that we want to do is reach out to these types of people, then why don't we upload posts that can reflect this kind of people, right? So if that's our goal, to reach high income prospects, right? We need to be at the level of them to impress this kind of people, right? And you don't want to make all the work, all the hard work to then miss on this, right? Because I've seen a lot of contractors do this mistake and it honestly sucks, right? You already did all the hard work, you already had to close that job, you already had to deliver the services, and then it's the time where you do the before and after, or where you take the photo. What is the first thing for first glance that you are seeing in here? Low quality or dark or even poor images from your project, right? As you can see here, I cannot really see pretty much a little bit about the kitchen, or in here, this is just too dark, right? Or in here, I can barely see the bathroom, right? So I know that there will be sometimes these types of homes where everything is just small, but whenever you're trying to deliver your services and try to make some portfolio out of it, the number one thing that will make you sign way more jobs with even higher income people is by having such great photos that whenever they see them, they say, okay, this is the contractor, right? Or whenever you try to deliver an estimate, right? Whenever you're talking with a homeowner, if the homeowner asks you for your proven projects for before and after, whatever thing may be, you can proudly pull up your phone and say, hey, these are jobs that no one in the area are doing, right? So you want to show that you are the authority, right? And so just to compare a little bit, this is just a couple of different photos I could manage to get, right? As you can see right here, this is not the best taken photo ever, but you can just see by how it's illuminated, the angle, that it is more appealable, right? And it is no better than this one, I would say, or it is not better than this one. It's a different style, of course, but you can clearly see that this photo is actually better, right? Or for example, I think it was this bathroom right here. Yeah, it is a bathroom. You can clearly see that this photo is just taken for this wardrobe, right? And it's just taken for you to appreciate it, right? Or for example, for landscaping, right? If you really want to target rich people, why don't you upload rich projects in a way, right? And projects that are high quality, or roofing, for example. Whenever you have that huge roof, why don't you upload a nice looking photo? Why don't you take like 3 or 5 minutes to really get the angle and to really take that nice looking photo, right? Or for example, you don't even have to take photos from the projects. You can just take photos from your entire team. Maybe the team that it's in the office itself, maybe the team that it's delivering the services, but establishing some trust and actually being active every single day will give you so much ahead of your old competition that it will be even funny to think that you were even doing all these things, right? So the only thing that I want you to get out of this is that it is not just about having those before and afters, having those nice projects, having those things, right? It's also about showing that you can be trusted, showing that there's a team behind that brand, right? Because people, I'm going to repeat myself a lot throughout the whole video, but people likes buying from other people, right? They don't want to buy from a business. They don't want to buy from a brand. Why do you think that the reason why homeowners want to get up to 5 different types of estimates from other types of contractors? Because they want to make sure that they're not only getting a fair price, but they're talking with the contractor that they feel that they can trust, right? And so you can price higher than your whole competition, but if you know how to prove that that pricing is the one to go, you're going to get way more sales and you're going to essentially be more satisfied at the end of the day. And I know that this may look super simple to do, but there are still a lot of contractors at this day and age that are still not doing this, right? And it just drives me insane, because you could be having this thriving business, but you're not, going the extra mile. You're trying to prove to the homeowner that you're the one, but then you are not trying to prove it in the day-to-day basis, right? But there's still one thing left that I want to go over on that will probably multiply by a lot, honestly, by a lot, your lead acquisition efforts. And that's the thing that I saw that most successful local businesses have in common, right? And it's a thing, you probably already know it, but that is the thing that will make your business thrive. And that is the power of using your own personal brand, right? And so whenever you think about CQR Kitchen and Bath Specialist, you think about Orlando. Why do you think about Orlando? Because you can just go at his website or at his Facebook or at his Instagram or wherever the place may be, and you're going to find him over, providing a job, or, just commenting over something with case studies, testimonials, or showing a little bit about tips and tricks, basically recording himself. You can see here that he's in a cabinet store and just commenting and going over things that can establish trust, right? For example, the face of State 48 Roofing is Jason, right? And you're gonna always associate the State 48 Roofing with Jason, because he's not only the business owner, but he is the face, the one that is day in and day out recording himself and basically giving away proof, right? For example, weather shield structures, right? You have Matthew, which is again the face of the business and day in and day out proving that he's there, right? And the list honestly could go on and on, right? But if people can associate your brand with the face that they can trust, you'll end up signing more jobs and it'll become easier since people will like, know, and trust you pre-estimation, right? And that is the main goal, right? To let people know, to already trust you before you even meet with them, right? And so if your only goal is to make your business grow and is to get more leads, the number one priority you should have is to start doing the things today, right? Because if you just start today, you're going to see that in a couple of months of actually doing this, you're gonna get leads that are coming because of you and not because you paid Angi, some advisor, or for advertising or whatever the thing may be, right? They're coming because they saw your Facebook profile and they saw that you were the one in charge of the business, and people buys from other people, right? So with that note being said, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would need help towards implementing all of this, you will need help towards your marketing, because this is just, I would say, the starting of the whole business itself. There's a lot of back-end things that you can do to even optimize even further, right? But if you need help with the marketing, if you need help with actually building a personal brand, if you need help with building trust with your website, you can reach out to myself over Instagram or over my website. I'm going to leave both links at the bottom, and you can just reach out to me and I'm going to give you all the love in the world. And on that note being said, I hope that you're having an awesome week, and we'll see ourselves in the next video. Bye.